Tell me if I'm wrong on this. I may be wrong. You trying to? So we have this process to where when people come to grab their drugs,
okay,
right, legal drug dealer. Okay. When they come to grab,
simple Catholic man over here. Drug dealing.
No. So when the people come to pick up certain product, how about that?
Their prescriptions.
Yeah.
When they come to pick up their product, right? They need to sign on a log, okay? And they sign. It's a simple log, and hey, here's this date, time, and everything. So the other day I walked in, and we have a QR code that now they have to scan, and I'm like, hey, what's this, guys? They're like, oh, it's a QR code now that we're doing for the people that are picking up. It's simple, they get their phone and then they scan. I go, what about if people don't have a phone? So, I mean, no, everybody has a phone, and they're like, we give them one chance. So if they don't bring their phone, then we give them one chance to sign the old one, that the paper form. I was like, what happened to actual paper and writing on the fucking paper? Like, I go, that's kind of
you're excluding a whole lot of people.
What's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of privileged. No.
Discriminatory.
I don't know whatever the word is. Check me in the comments.
Yeah, it falls into that.
It's blank to assume that everybody has a phone.
Well, not even that.
Right?
Everybody has a phone that can scan a QR code.
So there's my thing.
No.
So they go
discriminatory. No, I don't know. Let us know. Whatever the word is.
It's not coming to my head. 4 people in a bottle. So
we're stuck. Yeah.
So she's like. So she goes, well, it's required in their job.
Hold on,
It's required in the people that are picking up the thing, because it's not open to like the regular public, right? Because it's investigational stuff, right?
Yeah, it's an in-house pharmacy, like where patients don't pick up medicine.
So when I went for Gladys at one time.
No, it's not that.
That's an outpatient pharmacy.
That's an outpatient pharmacy.
It's study drugs, basically, right?
Right.
So they're like, no, their job requires them to have a cell phone so that they can be contacted at any point. And I go, great, okay, that's fine. They can have a cell phone. And they're like, and I'm pretty sure everybody has like an iPhone. And I go, how fucking overprivileged and rich do you sound to be saying that? Because
everyone has an iPhone, yeah.
Not everybody has an iPhone, or not everybody can afford whatever phone. What if somebody's like, I had a situation where now I got to cut back on expenses, so now I can only go get this flip phone or this phone that doesn't even have a camera on it.
Right.
Yeah. But I'm still available for my for my
phone
job,
call or a text message.
But now you're requiring me to scan this QR code, and I'm like, that's not right. That's morally, that's not right.
Yeah.
For you to just assume and put that out there for people and be like, tough.
Yeah.
You better have a phone if you want to pick up.
You don't have it.
And I go, it's not my job and our job to worry about people's finances, whether or not they can afford a phone that scans that they can scan a QR code with.
Yeah.
Like, who are we? What happened to simple paper? Just give them the fucking paper. And they're like, no, well, it's to save time, this and this. I'm like, they still have to scan, and then they still have to input the information.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I was losing my shit, dude. I got so fucking pissed that day. I was like, I can't even sit here and have my breakfast here.
I can't even have
my fucking breakfast here. You guys pissed me off so bad.
That's funny.
And am I wrong?
No.
For assuming that? And just, again, I'm thinking about people. I
will say, for accessibility reasons, I do think that is fucked up. Whether it's for any accessibility reasons where you can't afford a phone that does that, whether you can't function, your phone can't, like the phone that you need or whatever. Yeah, whatever the case may be. And you don't have accessibility purposes, that is like fucked up.
So the other thing was they make enough that they can afford it. I go, again, don't worry about other people's finances. You don't know what their situation is. You don't know if they have maybe a family member that became terminally ill, and now you got to cover their bills, and so you're cutting back on expenses. And now you decided to go to a flip phone or whatever a phone is that has no camera. Like, we shouldn't be worried about that, and we shouldn't be thinking about that. We should provide options that a paper and them filling out they can do. That's accessible, that everyone can
Or
do.
you should at least offer both, like
Yeah.
paper and the QR code.
That's
the people
what I
that
said.
want to do
Keep
the
a
QR code,
yeah,
do the
keep
QR
a
code.
keep a
People
reserve
that
for
wanna
the
do
because
the
even
paper.
restaurants still have menus.
I mean,
they
you
might
can
have
say
QR
like you
codes.
can
But they gotta
scan
have
the
they
menus.
have
documents.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, I mean that. I think that kind of goes into the whole technology thing we were talking about last episode, where
Maybe
we're
I'm wrong. I
so
don't know.
dependent on people and organizations, so dependent on this tech that we forget.
But
that,
I think,
you know,
but ultimately, what it ends up being, it's that it's efficient for the corporation to do it.
To do it.
So
Not for
they
anybody
mandate
else.
it for
fine.
everybody.
Yeah.
And you know what's
And
funny
it's
about
like
that?
it's efficient and cost effective because
I'm-
that's what their major thing is.
You know what's
Yes,
What
I'm
is
just
cost
not, I'm just
effective
not
for
on
me?
board with that. To you,
No, and I agree.
to people being concerned or whatever with other people's finances.
It's just
like,
assuming.
it's not your business.
Yeah, just assuming or projecting that onto the other person. But the funniest part about that even is that like people think all this tech is that much faster and all this stuff, but how many times
Till
have
it
you been
breaks down.
somewhere and you've had to wait 3 to 5, 6 minutes to do something, to put your card in for it to work at Walmart?
System's
Yeah.
got to reboot, right?
Something like that.
Downtime.
Well, you
like,
you know what I'm saying? I know it's kind of like it's kind of a bad analogy, but technology is not always faster, and even you especially at a hospital, you got however many people doing the same thing.
I mean, I get
how
it.
much is your server is just your servers are bogging down. Your bandwidth is not that.
So
there's
so
a
I
lot
get
of
it,
factors
like-
into that. Yeah.
I'm with it, and I'm on board. My thing is, don't tell them they have to, and give them one option. If they ain't got it or whatever,
Yeah.
give them the paper, and they could fill out the paper, whatever.
Not to be like
why are we trying to?
not to be cold about it, but
control
those who can
that.
will. Those who can't have the option for
To
them
do
to
something different, yeah.
Yeah, like we live in Raleigh, Durham. Like, come on,
Yeah.
we know what it is here. Like we have just like everywhere else in the United States, we have a poverty issue too. Like, you're right. For you to be behind the scenes and hear and see people kind of in a more candid coldness, I'm sure it is very frustrating to deal with.
I was just thinking as in the simplest terms and simplest way. Like,
Yeah, it makes
You know.
sense. It's logically
But-
it makes sense. Yeah.
maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure I'm wrong because after that, because there was this like big old back and forth, and I was just like, whatever.
Back and forth between
whatever you say.
Between the team, you mean, or between
Yeah, between the team and everybody and all of us and everything, and I was just like, you know what, whatever. Just,
Yeah, you're fighting an uphill battle. Yeah, I got
whatever. Hey, you got it, boss.
it.
you got it, boss. Like, let's,
Yeah.
you know.
I just saw, not to try to take this off
No,
track, but I just saw like a YouTube reel or whatever. This kid, Gordon Ramsay was doing like save a restaurant thing.
Mm-hmm.
He went to this one restaurant. Don't know the restaurant's name. Don't really remember. But the kid, he was questioning this kid a lot. This kid had a great attitude. Like he was just, he was all about
I
it.
think
He was
great attitude is
smiling. He was like, "Hey,
Really
no, this
great
is what I
attitude
do."
or sarcastically a great attitude?
No, great attitude.
Okay,
One of those guys that you would come back to a restaurant because you dealt
Because
with
of
him.
them, yeah.
But he was a kitchen
I
guy,
had that before.
and Ramsey was asking questions about this particular product. It was like a fish product. And kid was like, yeah, this fish it tastes like rubber. They want us to cook it like this, but I wouldn't eat it if I wouldn't eat it from here. I don't eat any of the fish products here. And Ramsey was like, but you serve it to people. He was like, yeah, it's my job. It's what I'm supposed to do, and arguing with him doesn't do anything. So I just do what I'm told.
You got it, boss.
And the way he said it was exactly, you got it, boss. The way he said it was just so like, I can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
I need to make money. It is what
resign,
it is.
Yeah.
And Ramsey, you know how Ramsey
make
is.
money.
Anybody seen Hell's Kitchen, you know how he is. He just he couldn't say anything to the kid because of how good the kid's attitude was and how just direct and straightforward the kid was about the fish products here suck. I tried my best when I had the opportunity to voice my opinion. They shot me down, so it is what it is. I don't eat here, so it is what whatever. And they once to your situation,
they try so much, but then they bitch and complain. They say, "How come you don't say anything?" Or "How come you don't speak up?" Or "How come you don't give your opinion on this?" I'm like, why would I?
It's kind of,
I've done it before and it's been shot down, and then it's always exactly what I said. I'm like, if you had just listened in the first place, we wouldn't have to go back and redo all this stuff. Like, not saying that I'm always right, but it's just like it's good to have an open mind.
Yeah.
Right, and consider different opinions and whatnot. Sometimes it's just like
if you have a way that it's not working for you, and you're like a supervisor. I would even break it down to even like, the military stuff. If you're a team lead, freaking squad leader, whatever, you get a way of doing stuff and it's just not working for you. And I've had to learn this the hard way myself, so I'm not just sitting here trying to be whatever. I'm not a hypocrite. Learn from the people around you. If somebody has an idea, try it. If it don't work, it don't work. I mean, what can you say? Like, if they had tried the way you said it and it didn't work, what can you say? I gave my opinion, my little 2 cents in your war for the quarters. Like, did it work? It didn't work. Okay, cool. Well, we'll move on to something next. Like,
yeah,
it is what it is.
No, I mean, I get it. You're right.
But they don't even want to try, and that's half the problem. Not trying is like, yo, like
immediate. No.
Yeah, we'll stick by the same doctrine.
No.
Yeah.
No.
We'll stick by the same doctrine that hasn't worked.
You got it, boss. Whatever you want.
Yeah, we have paperwork, all the way up to here for the last 2 months. But whatever, we'll just keep doing the same thing. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody can relate to that, no matter what job you work, right? Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not like
you've been in a director role, haven't you, before?
Like there's only so much there's only so much you can do to change someone's mind, like your boss or whatever. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna do whatever they think is best or whatever they want to do. You can only say so much. But as far as like being a supervisor role, I think what makes a good supervisor is to be able to hear what your like workers are telling you, especially if your workers are like the ones on the ground.
Yeah.
And they're going in and out and like on a daily basis doing the work. Exactly. Yeah. If they're telling you something is not working, I think that as a supervisor, it's your job to stop and think like, okay, so obviously
there's a chink in the armor somewhere.
What's going on?
Like, what is not working?
Yeah.
Like, how do we change it? It's not you can't just be like put your like side blinders on and be like, oh well, it doesn't matter because this is the way I want it.
This is the doctrine that I came up in. Yeah.
But not everybody's like that.
I mean, I'm like that, right? Especially with the soccer teams because I coach, right? I hate being we're doing it this way because coach said this is how it's gonna go. This is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Especially with my older groups, the older guys, I'm like, okay, well, what do you guys think? How would you do this?
I was about to ask you that.
How would you do that?
You talk to the kids, not to like call them because they're young men and women, whatever. And I like to differentiate that because coming up, there's not enough responsibility given to these kids these days anymore. They're when they hit preteens, they're preteens. Young men and women, they're young men and women. I like to say, I like to give the title young men and women at 12 to 16 because that's when they're really coming into figuring it out. And correct me if I'm wrong. What is the age range for your soccer teams?
Oh my God, age range
for your older ones though.
The older ones. Yeah, the older ones are high school boys. Yeah.
High school boys. So we're talking what 13 to 18, 14, 18 type deal.
Yeah.
So they're having to learn that responsibility and take up where they're.
It's funny because like we'll do stuff right in practice and sometimes like, oh coach, we're doing this again or we've been working on this and I'm like, this is where we're struggling. Yeah. Like okay.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Yeah. What would you work on? And we do this and this and we do it their way and then it doesn't work and I go.
But that's good though.
At least you guys gave your opinion and now you see why.
Yeah.
But I go, I've never shut them down to where I'm like, no, we're gonna do it this way because I say. It's always been like, okay, well, show me so that way as well they could learn and they could see and they can start to recognize, or even I can recognize as well and be like, they can be wrong and I can be wrong. Maybe been
two
doing
things
it
can
my
be right
way.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Two things can be right at the same time. Yeah.
Like we've been doing it my way. They say, hey, no, I think this. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, let's try it that way. And we try it, and then their way works. Okay, hey, well that works.
Okay, yeah. See,
and just compromise. I mean, but
it's leadership at its finest.
Certain.
Some people aren't born for it. Some people just get slapped into it. Nepotism is a real thing. I know there's a lot of corporate viewers out there. Nepotism is crazy. Listen, I've seen it. I've seen daughters, sons be put in positions where they had no business being in.
No business.
No business being in. You know, leadership, it comes in different forms, but at the best of it is like that, having the awareness to be able to take what you see and what you hear and being able to attribute that to the next step.
Yes.
Question for you: when it comes to stepping up and kind of finding like getting where you fit in the leadership role, speak on a little bit of like your time working for the tax company and like seeing where they were failing and where you kind of saw they wanted you to be, but where you saw you needed to be. You know what I mean?
I mean, like working for that said tax company.
Work for that company.
We're for that
place.
company. It was kind of crazy to see how like just because people are older does not mean that they are necessarily
Wiser.
always
Know
wiser
everything. Yeah.
or like know more than you or know how to do things more efficiently than you. Definitely like I just had to be a jack of all trades in the sense that like I had to play front desk, I had to do my own job, and then I also had to do a portion of the
Technician.
The other
Like just fixing
people's job, like where I started stuff taxes for them, and like I also got to see a little bit of how like my manager did her job, and that's why I ended up like getting offered the position of manager for one of their stores, but I couldn't take it because my mom was sick and I had to come take care of her. But it was just kind of crazy to see like these older people. Like I think it is sometimes crazy, and you don't think about it that like these people are like they've been here so long, but there's these things that are like so outdated and can be done
doing it
so
wrong
much
for 20
quicker.
years.
Exactly.
Yeah, really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But also I did learn that a lot of stuff is corporate implemented, so therefore you can't change it at the level that you're at, and so like it really sucks because like I remember having we had a calling system that we had to call people. It was like part of their promotional like
God, I hate those phone
advertising.
You were calling us?
Yes.
He was calling?
I had to be one of the people that had to call. And honestly, it was a really messed up system because like I definitely had to call people because a lot of the people that went to this place were older people, so I definitely had to call one or two people who were deceased, and I did not know because there's no way of putting it in the system.
Oh, how did that phone call
And
go?
like it's like and they would like be like their child or something picking up and like, hey,
call, bro.
Oh, man.
this person is deceased. Can you please stop calling us because like it's like they have everyone calling.
That's a rough day.
That's a rough.
Yeah. And it's like, I'm so sorry. Listen, I'm gonna try to do my best to put it in the system to not have them call you because the only thing you can do is put the note in, and then if you put the note in,
the other person doesn't read it.
Yeah, exactly. If they don't read it, but like there's no way of taking their phone number out of the system.
God.
And so, like, every year, you're going to get that phone call saying,
God.
hey, I've seen you haven't done your taxes this year. You want to come
guess
down
what?
and get your taxes done? It's like, no, I died.
Thanks for reminding me, asshole.
Yeah, I was about to say, imagine being that kid, letting the son or daughter, like, all right, I'm about to chew this person's head off.
I'm sorry.
No, that's real, though. That's
sucks.
real. That's
it
real.
really does
That's
suck.
real.
Like, I think that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do at a job.
Yeah, that's
is like call somebody and be like, hey, blah blah blah, and then it's like, no, actually that person is deceased.
Not here anymore.
I was like, oh, I am so sorry. You don't know how it felt. Like I feel like a terrible human being.
Like, hey, look, I know you don't know me, but over the phone, I promise you, I felt that. I'm so sorry I even called you.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
try to
sorry I
remove this-
bothered you.
Yeah. But that that goes into once again that technology thing and these corporations leaning on quote unquote these
systems, like software systems to do everything like
and it not
in an efficient way, and it's like yeah, it might be efficient, but doesn't mean that it is going to work in the long run.
Yeah.
Does
you
it actually
have to
serve the customer that you're saying that you're trying to
Exactly.
you know.
I probably ran away a customer because of the fact that I had to call them about their deceased
Such
loved
and
one.
such, yeah.
It's like, fuck. They're
Mm.
not gonna want to come back to us for business. We just reminded them that their parents gone. Like the fuck.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
I mean, what's up with taxes?
That's my aunt's.
Like, why are we always being taxed for everything? We
Tax to get the money.
We work.
Tax to get the money.
We work. Okay. Company didn't. Last time I checked, I worked in 40 hours that week. Not the company. I'm getting taxed for my check. Okay.
Yeah.
So I get the money.
That's the first step.
I go to the fucking store.
Yep.
Excuse me. Can we curse?
Can we? I don't know. Are we monetized yet? I don't know.
I go to the store. I'm taxed at the store. Okay.
Tax at the store. So that's 2.
That's 2 hours.
And
Two.
then every year, I'm taxed again. Like, for what?
And did you know?
Third time's the charm to
Did you
get you right. Like, they get you.
Did you know?
They get you right in the butthole.
Really, you're not supposed to get you're not supposed to get like a quote unquote tax refund. If you do your taxes quote unquote correctly, you're supposed to be even. A tax refund comes when you've been paying too much over the year. So imagine that.
Sounds good, because sometimes I get a refund. I think this last time I owed the state.
If we
Don't find me. Don't find me.
That's funny.
Don't find me.
If we have any viewers that are
Only
good
if
at
your
taxes,
fellow
do
get
it
fined.
themselves, anything like that, please hop in the
Put
comments.
it in the comments.
Please let us know what we're saying. If we're saying something that's just completely ignorant, or if we're saying something that's close to it, or whatever, please give us a more accurate thing.
Or if you need some clients, leave your
Put your business in the comments.
You know, maybe we can get some ads.
Everybody
Sponsorships. I guess.
Everybody here is trying to get more money out of government, right? Nah, but with that being said, seriously though, everyone here wants to be more educated. We're trying to build a platform and a forum, a place where people can speak freely in the sense of they don't feel judged.
This is a safe space.
Safe space. 2024. Safe
zone.
space.
Safe zone.
Safe zone. All right.
So I mean, my issue is like I've been driving down the same road for the last 15, 20 years, and it's still the road is the same.
Bumpy
potholes everywhere. Last time I checked, they're not giving me a check to replace my shocks.
I knew he was gonna say that.
It's true.
It's real though. That's real shit. Though. That's real.
Like you're driving through these roads, and I'm like, dude, I thought I paid my taxes. You would think they would have those nice paved
In
roads.
South Carolina, the roads are so bad they give you 1 free windshield a year.
Hey, listen.
Seriously?
No, that's real. That's real.
Wow.
Yeah,
After
Hey, listen.
you pay your deductible.
yeah, you have to pay your deductible. But
Either.
for real, anybody who's lived in South Carolina, that's where me and my wife came from. South Carolina, we moved back here to be close to family. But with that being said,
we did not come from South Carolina. We
were
were transplanted
into
South Carolina for 3 years, and then
came
we
here.
came back.
But with that being said, yes, it is. If you don't know, if you've never left North Carolina or South Carolina, it is different. So, there's nothing wrong with that. You like what you like.
Know yet. All the states are different.
I mean, no, that's real. Some people, whatever. Some people like to be where they're at, and they don't want to, whatever. It's cool. With that being said, yes, you do get the insurance because there's a specific tax that North Carolina does for the roads. They don't do that in South Carolina.
They don't do inspections in South Carolina.
There's a lot of other vehicle things that they don't do in South Carolina too.
They do car tax though.
They figure that out.
How about we just get taxed for things we support or want to, like, or to be like,
well, here's the question.
For schools, I'm like, yeah, of course.
Well,
Devil's advocate.
Why don't we just rebel like the Tea Parties did, and then
Wait a minute.
Here we go. Anyways,
controversial topics. Let's just rebel and throw the tea in the
state make
bed.
money? Devil's advocate. How does the states?
TVs in the bed?
Yeah, right. How does the states make money?
I have
to
no.
States going?
Throw
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like,
okay, you're right there.
What does the
I mean,
state do to
but
keep
I'm
things
sorry.
going?
I'm sorry. I would rather not pay taxes on things that I don't support
With that being said,
or don't like. Right? Like if you're,
understood.
let me just throw this out here, okay? Because I'm not trying to get controversial with blah blah blah. But if they're like, hey, we're gonna take your taxes, so we buy all these green cups here, and I'm like, well, I don't want the green cups. I'd rather my taxes go to the school and buy books for the kids.
You know what they would say to you?
Why do I have to pay the taxes for this green cup?
You know what they say to you?
Because those green cups are specialized military grade cups, and they're gonna be
Anyways,
used
not
for
even that.
every single military
Nah.
member.
I'm
No,
not
they-
trying to get political and
No,
all
no,
that
no,
and
no.
into that stuff, but you know what I'm saying? Like I just
what they
know.
would say, devil's advocate, they would say, then vote at your city council, state council, whatever. Just vote. That's what they would say.
Nom's been hit with that argument before.
Okay.
I've been hit with that argument before. I'm more big picture
Well, then-
in the sense that I'm more big picture in the sense, and military service members. Please, if you disagree with me, please let me know. But I'm a part of the system. I'm a cog, and I'm a wheel. I'm a cog in the system,
Well-
and I'm a number on the system. Whatever. With that being said, to me, a lot of things don't matter because no matter who's in office, no matter who's doing what, I'm going to end up being put in a situation where I don't necessarily agree with one side or the other. I end up
I'm not
figuring out
I'm not
things as
talking
an
about
independent.
that. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about agreeing with one side or the other.
No,
or
but you are,
leaning
though,
this way or
because
that
of-
way. No.
No, you are because of the lower level of politics is your state
I guess.
and your
Sure.
county.
Sure. Okay. Sure. I'll give you that one.
Yeah,
Hey,
you can vote
hey,
for your governor.
check. We'll
Who
go
are
into
you
check
voting
now.
for governor
But-
this year?
Hey, that's none of your business.
That's
It's private. It's private, and that's my right. No, but I mean, I guess going back to it, like, why isn't that road still fixed? You know what? Screw this. How about I don't pay my taxes then until you fix that road?
You know what? If we have
Fix
more,
the road,
no,
dude.
and
Yes,
to
but
your
then
point,
the government goes after you.
no. Pause. If to his
Why
point,
do we have to be on time, but they don't have to be on time?
if there was enough people that felt
Because
like
of the
that,
government.
Because
Yeah.
now them not being on time and doing their job, now it's causing me to get new shocks on my car.
if there was enough people that felt
Yes.
like that and that fought that fight like you, then they would
Fight the good
fix
fight.
It.
Then
They
Yeah,
would
listen,
fix it. If there was
We
enough
just
people,
said it. Let's throw all the cars in the bay.
She said, I believe it was T.
I
I
said
believe it was the
T,
T, not the
but-
cars in the bay. We're throwing the cars in the bay.
That's what I'm saying. But the T
How
doesn't
you-
work for anybody.
What are you, the Hulk? You're fucking picking up the car, you're throwing the car?
but no. To your point though, if there was enough people to be like that, then you would get that reaction and
I
you would
guess.
get that response.
I guess.
There's not enough people, quote unquote, no disrespect to those who just feel like the
Hey,
system works
that's
for them.
disrespectful to my mother and her way of thinking. Okay.
Hey,
Listen.
look.
I disagree with that statement because she has made a lot of controversial statements since.
We'll get into this political
Yeah.
discussion maybe later.
Maybe
Probably
later.
not. Not a fan of going into politics and dividing people and here and there and whatnot and taking
We're
sides.
all one people.
Hey,
Hey.
we're 4 people in a bottle.
4 people in the bottle.
Appreciate you. Thanks. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Subscribe.